The International Women's Day celebrates achievements of women in all spheres of life, may it be cultural, academic, scientific, technological, or political. On every International Day, we remember the importance of advocating for women's rights in all spheres of life. This International Women's Day, we take an opportunity to motivate young women to step in the world of STEM with the narratives of scientists and researchers in IISc. Today with us, we have Professor Vaanathi Sundaresan, who is an assistant professor at the Department of Computational Data Sciences. She is the convener of Biomedical Analysis Lab in the department. Okay. And in their lab, they focus on developing AI tools for medical imaging, especially for clinical applications. Hi, Professor Vaanathi.
Hi.
So, we first celebrated the International Women's Day in March 1911. It's been 113 years. What do you think? How far have we come?
So I think that's a very good question. So I think that we have come quite a far, but it's still a long way to go. So when the first woman scientist, right, Dr. Kamala Bhagat was admitted in IISc, so she had to struggle to get in a position here. But now we are actively encouraging women to come in, and we have supernumerary quota for women, and we also have, women actively participating as well. I think that we have come a long way, especially in STEM, and I think we still have to actively increase the awareness among women and also overcome the social obligations they have to encourage them to participate more in STEM research.
So, do you feel that women in India face more bias in STEM as compared to other countries?
So I think there is a slight more social constraints in India, as in the social setup of India in such a way that women have to complete their studies, settle down at certain age, which West has slightly moved forward in that aspect, but we are certainly moving in the right direction. I would say so, but have it been in my workplace or in many of the companies now, I don't see any gender bias at all, right? So in fact there is no inclination towards the faculty's gender or even researcher, right, even among students right now in today's world, but then it's among the general public that we have to encourage more women, increase awareness in inviting them, or in attracting them to do, encouraging them to do research in STEM areas, because I think that is the most important aspect to it rather than experiencing gender bias. So IAC has evolved over years, right? At some point it might have been, but we have come beyond all those things now, and we are actively encouraging women, as I said before, to pursue science.
Having you as one of the faculty here shows that inclusivity of ISC that they are stepping in. So, how do you see even as this at the level of students? Do you see that inclusivity at a greater end, like in the more of the research programs?
Certainly, see, we still get lot of applications. There is a ratio, definitely, and there is a bias towards men when we look at that ratio. But it unfortunately in the current world it is to be, that's the trend we have. So I hope it reduces to a more appreciable ratio quite soon. But we do have, for example, in the recent fellowship we had in our department, the Siemens fellowship, which is part of AIPM lab, which is opened by Siemens. So we have 6 women MTech fellowships. So we do encourage women to participate in different programs that we have. Our department is highly interdisciplinary, so we have quite a few women students, and uh, in a appreciable ratio with men as well, male students. So we are trying to bridge the gap, really.
So, how you get motivated to pursue a career in this field or in science?
Yeah, that's a good question. So I come from a remote village, right? So now we have, but when I started my career, we never used to have a proper healthcare system. So we had to go to the nearby town. So I was more focused on providing sustainable healthcare and how I can contribute to it. And then my original background is from electronics and communication engineering. But then when I went for interview at IIT Madras, I actually interviewed for signal processing, and that's how my journey for medical imaging started. I was so, I fell in love with the field and I never looked back really. So it's actually, I don't know, it just happened by, a serendipitous change, I guess. Glad that it's helping in the field of medical imaging and how we can use this to deploy AI tools in clinical setting, and also ensure that this would help in providing healthcare solutions and also software tools that would assist clinicians in making early diagnosis and also timely treatment. Not only that, it reduces the load on clinical experts, radiologists to make a decision. So I guess with the the invasion of AI, things have really progressed and has shown a very promising scope for application in clinical setting. So I guess it's always been my interest to work in healthcare, and I hope I can do a lot more change in the scope, in the topology of sustainable healthcare in India.
So definitely your field, even your work is quite interdisciplinary. You are working with
Yeah.
signals and then you have AI, and definitely the application is in medical. So definitely your group would also be a mix of all these.
Mhm.
And then I would just like to know what is the most challenging part of your field or as of your role, and
Mhm.
what are you trying to help? What are you doing towards it?
Um, so I guess the most challenging part is understanding the different aspects of it. Right. So my expertise comes from the technical, so artificial intelligence techniques and certain methodologies is where that's my area of expertise. But then, as you correctly mentioned, so we work in medical imaging, which means that we have to understand the other half of it as well, the most significant half probably, right? Understanding the clinical aspects and also getting more information regarding the biological and physiological aspects of what we are doing. So we definitely interact with clinicians, establishing collaborations with clinicians, because not everybody in medical imaging field or in clinical field are open to AI, right? So they will have their own reservations and also their own challenges in implementation aspect as well, because you need certain hardware as well in the clinical environment where you want to install things. So having the clinical experts on board, conversing with them and getting more information related to the project, and also getting them interested in the overall work, and finally the whole pipeline, developing the method and also clinical trial and testing, and then finally making sure that it's useful for it can be applicable for the day to day use. That takes long time. So having the support of everyone, I think that's the most challenging part. So the main challenge comes from getting the help of clinicians, establishing collaborations, I would say.
So, as you see, AI is the new thing or is the new thing everyone is talking about. But if you see it in the context of India, even I would say the rural India, we are yet to adapt it. So, how do you think you will be able to promote your work or when you get that
Yeah.
product? How will you think that you will be able to aware people in the rural India? As you say, even your background comes from
Yes.
there.
So I think when it comes to rural India, we have to take care of a few things, right? The first thing is accessibility. So we have to make portable devices or lightweight devices. That is also part of what our department is working on, some of the projects. So where we actually develop lightweight models that can be easily applied. So that doesn't need a lot of big hardwares or GPUs to be applied. So when the point of care devices, the size of them or the scale of them reduces, it's more portable. So we can actually have that is where the lightweight devices might come in handy, because we need to have the affordability factor that is very important, especially to rural communities. and also we need to have a reliability or explainability, which is I think the most important factor next to whatever the implementation factors I was talking about. Even to clinicians, we need to actually make sure that they understand what is going on in the system we develop. So this is helpful in two ways. One is that they can actually access it with a bit more confidence, because they understand where things might go wrong, or where they have to put more effort to get more accurate results. The second thing is they can give constructive feedback. That would also be helpful, and this feedback can be population specific, because India is a very diverse country, and when we have a certain set of techniques, it might work for a certain population. We call this in our terminology, in technical jargon if I may. So we call that as domain shifts or domain adaptation, where we want to adapt the models to different domains. Right. So these kind of aspects flourish very well if we have a explainability aspect to the model, and if the clinicians can understand what's happening, and they can explain in layman terms to the patients who are walking in, because they would need to know what is going on really, right. So I think these are the few factors that we have to ensure that the AI reaches, it actually becomes from a black box to something that people can understand and even venture in. I think this also relates to the previous thing that you were talking about, right? How to ensure more participation of women or any general public. So that's why we have outreach events we recently had an IISc Open Day as well, that we explain how things work to people, so so as to kindle their interest, and attract more worthy students into more interested, and also intelligent students into IISc, so that they can actually pursue the research irrespective of gender, right. So that is, I think that is where both the stakeholders, both as a patient, as a clinician, and also general public, people would know more about AI, and they will be able to contribute to it.
So certainly your journey will be full of like you have met many people, mentors. So who would you like to like recall or see as one of the most prominent, I would say, a female mentor in your life?
Can I say my mom?
Yeah, surely.
So yeah, I think she's a very strong woman. I definitely learnt a lot from her. I think it's true for any mom, right? So they are superwoman. But apart from that, I think there are so many researchers, eminent researchers in the field. I would like to, during the course of my journey, I would like to thank. And my career has been littered with a lot of these eminent women scientists, and going to places like Oxford and Harvard, you'd meet a lot of people. It's very difficult to remember all their names. There is something to take from everyone, I guess. So a lot of people have shaped my journey so far.
That's wonderful. So the only thing now I would like to ask you that what would be your advice to the young women who want to pursue a career in STEM?
Yeah. So I would say go for it, right? So just go for it. So I know I had to convince my parents as well, and now I'm telling to you as well. So you have to convince people who matter to you. Don't think about society. In some level, you have to realize what your dream is. If you are pursuing a career, make sure that you pursue for passion, not for social obligations, or this is the field you can settle quicker. No. So you have to really have interest in that field, and if you are interested in STEM, I think you should definitely go for it. We do some really cool research. Feel free to contact us. We can at any point of time provide some information about what kind of research we do, and we are all keen on recruiting more women scientists, or more motivated women who want to actually work in this field. So I would definitely say that you have to follow your passion, right? Understand the field that you are going to work in, and if that is your interest, just go for it.
Thank you. That
Yeah.
was a wonderful interview. It was
Yes.
great to know about your journey.
Thank you.
Thank you.